Hello everyone, welcome to Legacy IAS. So we were dealing with the chapter of time, speed and distance. Now in the first one we had seen some basic questions and the introduction of it, that is mainly about relative speed. Then in the second one we had seen scenarios when there is constant distance. Now this is the third one where we will be understanding the concept of average speed. Okay, now first thing how you find the average speed. So very simply, average speed is equals to total distance upon total time. Total distance upon total time is the value of average speed. Now if in this there are two different scenarios. If same distance is traveled at different speeds, and if different speeds are used for same time. That is, for example, what I am saying, just understand the difference. If it says that a vehicle goes 1 kilometer at a speed of v1 and it goes another 1 kilometer at speed of v2, this is first case. In this, distance traveled at different speed is same. Okay, now how you calculate this, that we'll see. Then the other scenario is, it tells you that a vehicle travels 1 hour at v1 speed and 1 hour at v2 speed. Okay, now in this scenario the average speed will be simply v1 plus v2 by 2. Okay, now just for a understand, in this scenario it won't be like this. There are formulas for this also, but only works for two of them, so don't remember them. We'll use the general way. Okay, now why you can write something like this here and something not like this here. Understand, usually if I'd ask you average of anything, what you do, you add all of them and divide by the number of observations, that gives you the average. But here in case of speed, you can do it when they are traveling for the same number of hours at different speeds. Then you can simply find the average that I have found. If there are three like this 1 hour, then you can find out like v1 plus v2 plus v3 by 3, no problems. But when you are traveling same distance at different speeds, then it will not be equal to that. It is just the sum and divided by number of observations. Why? Understand this simple difference. Now if a vehicle, let's say, goes from point A to point B, now distance is same, correct? While going also, while coming also, distance will be same. Now it goes as at a speed of 20 kilometer per hour. It comes back at the speed of 40 kilometer per hour. Now understand this is going at 20 kilometer per hour and this is coming at 40 kilometer per hour. So from A to B, when in this entire travel, what is the most normal speed of the vehicle? So for most of the time you can feel that the vehicle is traveling at 20 kilometers per hour, correct, for most of it, because this will take much more longer. Let's say distance is 40 kilometers between them, then this will be done in 2 hours and this will be done in 1 hour. That means the vehicle traveled 2 hours at 20 km per hour and at 40 km per hour only for 1 hour. That is why if you add them both, 20 plus 40, 60 divided by 2, 30 won't be the answer. Something less than 30 should be the answer. Understand this difference? Because it is traveling for a much longer time at a smaller or lesser speed. That is why it won't come directly. Understood? Now let's get to the questions. So what it says, A walks from P to Q at 3 km per hour and from Q to P at 6 km per hour. What is the average speed? Okay, so P to Q at what speed? At 3 km per hour. Then he comes back at 6 km per hour. Okay, now what is asked? What is his average speed? How you will calculate this? Simply, can you add them simply? 3 plus 6, 9, 9 divided by 2, 4.5? No, it is incorrect. Why? Because it is traveling much more time at 3 km per hour, much lesser time at 6 km per hour. Okay, so how you calculate this? Average speed, basic formula remains the same, that is total distance upon total time. Now, total distance is what? Total distance, let's say I assume it to be d. The distance between P and Q is d. So now total distance will be what? D it goes and d it comes back. So total distance is 2d divided by total time. Total time is how much? Total time you can write down for the first scenario. Now you know time is equals to distance upon speed. So let's write time this way. So for the first, while going from P to Q, what is the distance? Distance is d divided by what is the speed? Speed is 3 kilometers per hour. So this is the time for going from P to Q. Now plus it has to come back also. So that time will be added. Now again the distance is d, but now the speed is 6. Correct? So this will give me the answer. So how you will do this? You will simply add it. Now this becomes 2d upon 6 as LCM. This will go 2 times 2 plus 1 3. So this becomes 3d by 6. Now d and d you can cancel out. Okay. Now 1 by 2. Now 2 divided by 1 by 2. So this will get multiplied above. That is 2 into 2 gives you 4. So what you got? 4 kilometer per hour is the speed. Understood? Just a bit lesser than what you usually feel. So 3 and 6 you might feel 4.5 should have been the answer, just little less than it. Why? Because it was traveling more at 3 km per hour. So just less than this, 4 km per hour. Then next. Yeah, this was asked in CSAT 2015. What it says, two cities A and B are 360 km apart. A car goes from A to B. A car goes from, this is A to B, distance is 360 km per hour. Now it goes at what speed? A car goes at 40 km per hour and returns at 60 km per hour. What is the average speed? So average speed is what? Average speed is always equals to total distance upon total time. Total distance is what? 360 kilometer, sorry, per hour now. 360 kilometer was the distance between them, A and B. So 360 kilometer going, 360 kilometer coming back. So this becomes 720 kilometers. Then upon time will be what? Time will be again summation of distance upon speed. This will give me total time, correct? So distance upon speed, distance upon speed. Now what is the distance here? 360 kilometer. So this becomes 360 divided by speed. Speed is what? Speed is 40. Then while coming back, distance is again 360 divided by speed is what? 60. How many times this will go? 720 divided by, now this goes 0 0, this will go 1 time, 9 time. This goes 9 time plus 0 0 cancel, 1 time, 6 time. So this becomes 6. What you got? 720. 9 plus 6 is 15. Correct? 9 plus 6 is 15. So 720 by 15. What you get? It will go 1 time. This will go how many times? 4 times. With 60, 12 will remain. With 120, it will go 8 times. So answer came out to be average speed is equals to 48 km per hour. So answer would be this, 48. Okay, usually I can tell you one trick, what you can do, if you have to just find the answer somehow, what you can do instead of doing all this, see, the speed while going is 40, while coming back is 60. Just find the average of them, like we would have normally done. So 40 plus 60 is 100, 100 divided by 2 is 50. But you know the theory that it will be traveling at the lower speed for much longer. So this average will get decreased by something. So slightly less than this. Now, which is slightly less than this? 50 is there. 55 of course not possible. 50 is not possible. 48 is slightly less. So 48 becomes the answer. Also by simple understanding you can do in that the speed was 20 and 30 and the average was coming out to be 25. Then the answer was 24. That is one was decreased. Okay. Here what you are decreasing? Here you are decreasing it by 2. Because similarly everything is multiplied by 2. So what you can do, if the options are far apart like this, what you can do, you can simply take the average and then just reduce it slightly. That will give you the average speed. Okay. Okay, that's it for this lecture. Thank you.